So, hello guys, it's Kevin again from Rage Against the Dice. We haven't done as many videos recently, and the reason for that is we've actually been painting, getting some stuff ready, been a lot of building, some rules reading, because a lot of new games and stuff come out. So we just wanted to give you an update on what we're doing, what we're not doing anymore. We did originally, when we started the channel, we started covering the Batman miniature game a lot, and we also covered the Marvel Universe miniature game. Now, with regards to Batman, that's something we're stopping completely. That's due to us not liking a lot of the stuff Night Models are doing in terms of adding sort of supers into the game, as well as their current pricing structure and things like that. It's nothing against Night Models. It's purely a decision that we've made as a group that we're not going to cover on this channel for now. With regards to the Marvel Universe miniature game, that's slightly different, and that's because, you know, Knight's Models no longer own the rights to it. And thus, it's a bit of a different ball game. At the moment, however, we have got too much on our plate painting-wise, and so that's a game that's going to be put on the back burner a bit. It's not that we're not interested in it, we certainly still are, it's just it's not hot topic. Like some of the other games we're playing, because it's not new out. It's not going to get cool stuff every couple of weeks that we're going to gush and be excited over. It's all now stuff that already existed or fan-made stuff. And where the fan-made stuff is cool, and if you know, within the Facebook groups that follow it, you know, contribute, like, and, you know, comment on the pictures that are up there, put your own, create stat cards, that kind of thing. For us right now, it's not something we want to do. This leads us on to what we are doing. We are still carrying on with the Western stuff. Warhammer Historical is fantastic. All the different ones we play are brilliant, but the Old West is our favourite still. It is something we're going to continue on. We do realise it's not for everyone, though. You know, you have to like the Old West, you have to like those types of skirmish games. But it is something we are going to put up. On top of that, Rumbleslam Fight Night is definitely starting soon. The models are now in a much better stage of painting, and we are looking to just finish them off. And the first, I believe it's going to be towards the end of June, start of July, they're going to go up, and then they're going to be up every Friday, hence Friday Night Fight Night. We are going to start doing polls and things as well, which will most likely be through the Facebook or the Instagram, where you can vote on which two teams you want to see wrestle a particular week. Or if you want to see two special characters fight each other in a one-on-one deathmatch type of thing, you know, that's certainly something we'll add. With that, we are going to add the rule that you can't, with its two single characters, we'll add the rule that you can't throw someone out unless they're already knocked out. So it will prolong it a bit instead of someone getting a lucky dice roll and throwing them out turn one. So hopefully that should make things a bit more interesting. Test of Honor we are still doing a bit on. It's one that we put to the side one a little bit, mainly because Warlord Games released Doctor Who. Doctor Who's a game that we are fond of. Doctor Who is a franchise we're fond of. It's a game that plays like Project Z and a few of the others that we really like anyway, or it has a lot of similarities to Project Z. It's something that we're going to start doing, most likely come the new year, maybe around the Christmas period, depending on how we get on with other things. So, again, it leads us more to what we are doing, not what we aren't doing. So, Legendary Old West still staying. Marvel and DC on the back burner, going as it were. Rumbleslam staying. We're going to be doing some Drop Zone and Drop Fleet, because it's games that we particularly like, but we haven't really given a lot of love to as of yet so far. And we are sorry for that. Hulk War Games, your model's fantastic, your rule set's brilliant. You know, it's something we're going to cover in a lot more depth. Brings us on to Games Workshop. Games Workshops, it's one of those things where you either love Games Workshop or you hate Games Workshop. There seems to be this big internet thing where it's cool to hate Games Workshop. Well, I've been a hobbyist since I was 11, which is 400 years, something like that. I'm pretty old. And in that time, I've been very loyal follower of Games Workshop most of the way. For a time, I worked for them. I loved it. When Fantasy was, you know, put to bed and Age of Sigmar came along, originally I wasn't a big fan. However, I think that it's grown and grown in its fantastic gaming system now. You know, they got rid of some of the tweaks, some of the sillier rules, which were only, like, people who thought that was how Age of Sigmar was always going to be, I think are a little naive. Games Workshop certainly aren't in the habit of messing up that bad. It was always just a stopgap, or certainly in my opinion, it was always just a stopgap. Some Games Workshop guy, one day might catch this and go, actually, no, it was the way we were going to go. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But back on to my point, you either hate Games Workshop, you like Games Workshop, or there are the small minority who are a bit indifferent, but it tends to be quite polarising. We here at sort of Rage Against the Dice, we like Games Workshop, we like what they do. We think 8th edition looks fantastic. Age of Sigmar is fantastic. The new Age of Sigmar skirmish is good. They've started to branch out with board games and stuff again. Shadow War, that's something that, we've covered a little bit on, but we haven't actually covered any play. We've played games, we just haven't covered them. Mainly because a lot of the scenery and the models weren't painted, and I have ranted about this in other videos that, depending on the order in which they go up, you might have or not heard. But when it comes to Games Workshop, for some reason I'm a bit funny compared to other things, and I like to have all the models painted before we start doing a lot of videos and things on them. That's why Shadow War hasn't been covered as much yet. But so yeah, coming up we are definitely going to be doing Age of Sigmar Skirmish. We're definitely going to be doing 40k 8th edition. We like the idea of a lot of open play, as well as some smaller games. We don't want you to have to sit for 3 hours watching a game of 40k, so we'll either do really small battles, or we'll do this is what happened turn by turn style battle reports. On top of that, we are going to be looking at doing some how-tos for things like Blood Bowl and stuff like that, and we're going to keep an eye on Games Workshop, and as things come out, we're definitely going to be doing more reviews and things like that on them. We are going to be looking at other smaller games as well, and to bring the board game side of things in, it was certainly something that was originally teased quite a lot. Board games, we play board games more than we do anything, in all honesty. It's just that we don't tend to film them. They're our fun time. Not that we don't have fun doing the filming, it's just the board game side of it is kind of should we get a board game out? A couple of people come round and we'll play, Star Trek, or we'll play board games of varying kinds, Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride, those kind of games, Carcassonne. But yeah, we are going to be covering more board games again. I think it's a bit of a shame that we haven't been so far, but that's because a lot of pretty things got released in a very short space of time. We're definitely carrying on with Alan's journey into painting and stuff. At the minute, he is sunning himself in a far-off land, but when he gets back, complete with tan, hopefully, so he isn't that ghost white colour like I currently am. Hi. We're definitely going to carry on with that, and that's going to feed in with our Age of Sigmar skirmish, because we're going to see Alan's journey from painting a single model to painting a few models to playing his first games of Age of Sigmar in skirmish form, because we're only going to play it at reasonably small points, probably around about 60 renown. If you know what Age of Sigmar skirmish is, you'll be like, 60 renown. That's, decent size. If you've never heard of it, you're not really following Games Workshop, you're thinking, I don't know what that is. Renown is basically like the point structure for it. So 60 points is, a medium-ish size. And then we'll follow through as he does more games, paints more models, to his journey into a full-fledged, adult nerd. Other than that, we're just going to do little things. If people want to request stuff, they certainly can. The big thing that we've got coming, and we can't start doing it until it arrives, is Black Scorpion Miniatures Western Skirmish style campaign game, which is called Tombstone. We went in on the Kickstarter. It's something we're really, really excited about. I mean, if you follow our channel as it is, which you might not, you might or might not know that we are heavily into our westerns. In fact, if you rewind this to about 2-3 minutes in, you'll hear me blabbering about westerns then. Yes, when Tombstone is released, we're going to be doing a lot on that. We're going to be doing a full summary of the rulebook, doing some how-to play videos, and then we're going to show you the campaign from start to finish. We're also going to show you some of the new models that are coming out specifically for it, because if you've seen the Black Scorpion models, cowboys that are already out, they're gorgeous. If you see what's coming up, when it's released, I think it's around about November, December time, it's some of the nicest independent models I've seen. Obviously, I haven't held the models in my hand, so I don't know that that's a fully accurate statement. But from the photos that we've seen of the models so far, absolutely beautiful. They've got some size to them, so they're not like the weird miniatures models that went from really nice metal models to really detailed plastics that are a nightmare to put together and paint, in my personal opinion. And that's not a knock on Weird or Malifaux, because I love Malifaux. It's certainly something we want to cover moving forward. But yes, so we're going to streamline as things are. We're going to concentrate quite heavily on Games Workshop based products, Rumbleslam, Legends of the Old West, and then when Tombstone comes out, it's going to replace Legends of the Old West. So you're not going to get two separate Western things. You're just going to get the one, but it'll be Tombstone instead of Legends of the Old West. But if you did back it on Kickstarter, or you are interested in getting involved in it, certainly start, like and subscribe. You know, sit for updates. When we know stuff, we'll tell you guys stuff. Once we have the rule book in front of us, if we get the PDF like a week before, or a few days before the hard copy arrives on our door, we will sit with my iPad and we'll read sort of and do some playthroughs and some little bits. So when you get your rule book, you'll already know what to do. For those who follow us and are interested and also backed it, or who buy it at a later point. So yes, I've blabbered on a lot, but that's because we have been getting messages mainly through the Instagram and a few through Facebook, just saying what's happening. Your videos have been very sporadic as of late. Not necessarily using those exact words. It's more been, "Hoi, what's happening? When's the next video up?" type thing. We are still going to be doing the Walking Dead All Out War as well. I didn't mention it through the video, but anybody who knows me knows how much I love The Walking Dead, so it goes without saying. That being said, I will now say it. We are still continuing on with The Walking Dead All Out War. Once Wave 2 stuff arrives, we'll be showing that off. And the same with Wave 3 and Wave 4, etc. Paint started to go on models now as well, so you will start to see, once we've got more models painted, we'll be playing a lot more games of it. The channel's always evolving. It's always pushing forward and growing. We are slowly getting, subscribers, people watching. Some videos get a lot of hits, some videos get few hits. Depends on what people like, really, what we're covering compared to what's popular. So we expect our 8th edition stuff to get a lot more hits than, say, our Legends of the Old West, which is a game that's been dead for about 15 years. That being said, if there are any games you want to see us play, there are any board games you want to see us play, do unboxings or reviews of, let us know in the comments, or drop us a message via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll certainly look at covering them. There's a few, we've been sent a few rulebooks actually, or PDF versions of rulebooks for a few different games that people would like us to do reviews on or do some playthroughs. So that's certainly something we're going to be doing in the upcoming as well. And anytime we do that, we'll pop a link in the description below so that you're able to contact the person directly, or you'll be able to see their website or their Kickstarter. Just so you can, get involved in it if it's a game that you like the look of. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. And as always, pray to the dice gods. Hope they smile upon you. And blood for the blood god. Take care, guys. Bye.